Welcome back to the BiBi Files. In part 1, we exposed all the luxuries that Netanyahu demanded from Arnon Milchan. In part 2, we broke down the Wallah scandal and just how far BiBi was willing to go for favorable coverage. But part 3, this one gets personal. The scandals inside the family, the corruption trial, and the dangerous alliance that followed. The road to hell was paved with good intentions, and when you find out who his ministers of finance and security became after his corruption scandal, you'll see how any extreme, left or right, is never beneficial for society. And here's the kicker. Even with extreme right ministers like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir at his side, BiBi's own son Yair still thinks his father is too weak and not aggressive enough. Meanwhile, BiBi acts like he's running a kingdom and even talks about appointing his warmongering son to succeed him. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one, so hit the like, follow, and share, and come with me down the rabbit hole that is the BiBi Files.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if you told it to you.
Let's start with Yair Netanyahu, the pampered son of the prime minister. Here's what he told investigators. You investigate me because the Israeli police has become the Stasi secret police wanting to overthrow the government. You're trying to drive my parents crazy. You know that a child is the most sensitive issue for every parent. A police force of mafiosos treating us like a crime family. Disgusting. We're the prime minister's family. Nothing like it in the world. And then he doubled down with this gem. Excuse me? Are you full of shit? How are you not ashamed? This is what you do for work? This is what Israeli police is doing? When there are 100,000 illegal Arab homes? It's just unbelievable! Now here's the irony. Yair compared Israeli media to North Korean propaganda. But wasn't his own family caught using Wallah as their propaganda machine? Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Honestly, Yair embodies the worst qualities of both his parents. He even brags that he was blocked several times for hate speech on Facebook. Buddy, join the club. I get banned on TikTok for way less. Tell us something we don't know, Mr. Pampered Princess. And here's where it gets really telling. Hadass Klein said Yair is even more right-wing than his father. But not just right-wing, dictatorial right. That's her word. To be fair, I'll give him this. He's not wrong about the left in Israel, America, and Europe pushing for mass illegal immigration. We see it in the US, pushing to give illegals access to voting to flip the country's identity. In smaller places like Ireland, the effects are felt way harder and way faster. And look, I'm the son of an immigrant myself, but I'll say it. A nation has to protect its identity or it collapses. That's not racism, that's survival. Just ask China. See how many green cards they hand out a year. But back to Yair. According to BiBi's campaign manager Nadir Hafetz, Yair is glued to the internet all day, doesn't work, and yet criticizes his dad constantly. He calls BiBi too weak and not aggressive enough, and even says he's dedicating the next few years to make sure his father doesn't mess up. Wow. Nothing screams tough guy like living off daddy while doom scrolling Twitter 18 hours a day. Good game, you. And get this, Uzi Beller said BiBi once suggested Yair could replace him. Beller was stunned. Yair can replace you? First of all, you can't appoint your son. Exactly. But this shows just how much BiBi really thought he was running a kingdom. When police asked Yair if he meddled with Wallah, he tried to dodge the question. Then he admitted he stepped in only when they published lies and slander. Sorry, that's just a twisted way of saying yes. And apparently, he even helped push out editor Avi Al-Khalei. So yeah, Yair was very much a part of Daddy's little kingdom. Now, the Elovich case gets even shadier. Both Elovich and his wife accidentally break their phones. How convenient. Hafed even alleged that Elovich suggested smashing them after the meeting. But GM Ilan Yeshua didn't play along. He turned over his text to the police. One of them read, "It's so frustrating that the big guy goes out of his way to help us, and we can't reward him because of a bunch of losers." When BiBi was confronted with this, he flat out denied everything. He said all the witnesses were liars who lined up their stories. Right, because everyone else is lying, and the guy swimming in cigars and champagne is the one telling the truth. Sure thing, BiBi. Then, in November 2019, boom! The Attorney General drops the hammer. Netanyahu is indicted on 3 charges: bribery, fraud, breach of trust. Now, here's the crazy part. Every other leader in Israel would have resigned at this point. That was the norm. But not BiBi. Nope. he stayed in office, something absolutely unheard of. The former PM Ehud Olmert said it best. Unnecessary. It was a result of arrogance. He was challenging the system. He said, "No, I am above. I'm beyond. No one can touch me. You dare not do it, and if you do, this is manipulation." Sounds a lot like Lucifer in Isaiah 14, don't you think, when he said that he would ascend above the throne of the Most High? But I digress. So what did BiBi do after being cancelled by the center-left? He cozied up to the far right. Enter Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir. Smotrich? A former PM literally called him a Jewish terrorist. In 2005, police found burnt Molotov bottles and boxes of road spikes in his home. He was suspected of plotting terror attacks against Palestinians, but thanks to legal loopholes, he pled the fifth and walked free. And Ben-Gvir? This one's wild. Back in '95, he openly supported the unaliving of Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. In an interview, he even held up the Cadillac emblem from Rabin's vehicle and said, "The emblem is a symbol, and it symbolizes that just like we got the emblem, we can get to Rabin as well. I think one is justified in committing horrible acts against him." Let that sink in. One of BiBi's right-hand men literally said it was justified to commit horrible acts against the prime minister. And here's the spooky part. A year after Rabin's unaliving, BiBi conveniently becomes prime minister. Super convenient, right? And now we've got sudden, suspicious deaths of voices like Charlie Kirk who shifted their stance on Israel. Looks like the same playbook is running all over again if you ask me. Ben-Gvir openly follows a racist movement and wants to expel disloyal Arabs, and yet today, Smotrich is Israel's finance minister, and Ben-Gvir is the minister of national security. Think about that. Just 3 years earlier, nobody even wanted to be photographed with these guys. And now, they're BiBi's right-hand men. So let's wrap this up. I said this would be 3 parts, but I had to give you everything so you could weigh the evidence like a jury. BiBi wants to cast himself as King David, but the truth? He's nothing more than King Ahab, desperate to hold on to power, surrounded by fools, and willing to sell out Israel's soul to do it. The prophet Isaiah said it perfectly. Their feet run to evil, and they are swift to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Desolation and destruction are in their highways. The way of peace they do not know, and there is no justice in their paths. They have made their roads crooked. No one who treads on them knows peace. Isaiah 59, 7-8. And that's exactly the counsel BiBi chose. And that's where we'll leave it at part 3. But don't worry, the bonus ending in part 4 is coming soon, and it's going to tie all of this together. But until next time, the Faceless Prophet out. And remember, don't make it a good day, make it a great day.
If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless, of course, he knew you wouldn't believe the truth, even if you told it to.